many foreign students are studying currently in Russia?
Well, so the numbers are actually growing, and that is interesting that at the moment, so we have more than 200 students, foreign students coming in Russia, and I would say that from the year 2000 up to last year have grown from 60,000 to more than 200,000. I mean, it's really growing very fast. And the interesting thing that in addition to this 500 project, we have another project that was launched just 1 year ago. And this project is a priority national project relates to the export of Russian education. Sorry. And the idea is actually to raise the goal of 700 students up to the year 2025. And while we understand, of course, that it's a very ambitious goal, but what I think is a very good thing here that it really goes strategically on the national level, and that we really receive support on the governmental level, both financially, organizationally. Within this project, there are different groups that works on it, and different groups are focused on different tasks. I would say that there are some groups focused on marketing and branding of Russian education abroad. There is another group that is focused on creating environment within universities and ecosystem in campuses, so providing, the best conditions, for foreign students and make it more attractive to come to Russia and to study. So there is another group that provides legal support from the legal point of view. So that means that there is a kind of complex approach to this task. And well, I really feel positive about these tasks and the way we are going to reach it.
So what are the major sending countries for international students to come to study in Russia?
Well, of course, I would say that there's a big market of former Soviet republics, and it's the same for the many years already. So like countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Moldova. I'm really happy to mention Ukraine here in the list. Ukrainian students like to come to Russia, and the process, so we still receive students from Ukraine. And what is interesting actually here that, of course, one of the reasons might be the language, that they can study in Russian. But at the same time, what we're facing for the last years, the students from CIS republics come and study in English in my university at least. And so this is a very interesting trend. Because offering these programs in English, offering these international opportunities again, brings them, so they come and study in a Russian university, but they are studying in the international group, they are learning in English. We have visiting professors, those came from everywhere in the world. They can go for a mobility program to one of our partner universities, or they could be enrolled in a double degree program and get like 2 diplomas, studying with us and spending some period abroad. And that is interesting. So I would say, yes, sure, the CIS countries is our main market. And I think, like in general, Russian universities work on different markets everywhere in the world. I would name Asia, I would name Africa, Middle East, even Latin America. But of course, this also depends on the strategy of every particular university. Like to give you an example, China is a big market for Russian universities in general, but if to take my university, HEC, we are very new in China. So I would say that if you take the whole cohort of foreign students, there would be about 10% of Chinese students out of them. But in HEC, we have very few numbers, and we are just starting to promote there.
What do you see as the major growth markets?
So as I actually said, it very much depends on marketing strategy of each certain university. But I see that like Middle East in general is growing. I would say that Latin America is also growing. And of course, so like we select certain countries in Asia where we do promote and do the branding. So Asia is a very big and potential market for us as well.
Thank you for watching the second part of ICEF Monitor. Stay tuned for part number 3.